My dear friends, 15 days are left for the exam and UGC Net English, as we know, it has a big syllabus. I'm going to give you some particular ideas related to 15 days preparation. A person who keeps on improving the strategy is the person who wins the battle in the end. In short, you started with a strategy 6 months back. Then you got to know that the exams are getting postponed again and again, and you got trouble. You felt that you are not able to follow the same strategy again. So, technically, this is called improvisation. You must work on your strategy again and again. You must check whether your timetable is suitable for you or not. You must check whether you have covered all the topics or not. So, last 15 days, I, Vineet Pandey, using my own experience, own knowledge, I'm going to tell you certain areas where you must work. And yes, I'll also suggest you what to do, what not to do. So, let's start. My dear friends, as 15 days are left, I suggest you to avoid the topics or the writers which are really big and take a lot of time. For example, William Shakespeare. I remember the same thing when I explained in one of my old videos saying that when the exam is really close, it's very near, avoid William Shakespeare, then some students or maybe someone from rivals or rival coachings, they took it as an opportunity to criticize, saying that, oh my god, Vineet Pandey says Shakespeare is not important at all. So just think why Vineet Pandey is saying that. I love Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a genius. Nobody can, comprehend Shakespeare completely. We ask and ask, thou others abide our question. We ask and ask, thou smilest. That's the reason. Shakespeare is great. Shakespeare is unbelievable. Shakespeare is amazing. But then Vineet Pandey is not expert of Shakespearean studies. I am expert of making you qualified NET and JRF. Now let's talk practically. My dear friends, 38 approx 38 plays by Shakespeare, 154 sonnets, 3 long poetries, and approx 13 plus works related to Shakespeare which are attributed to him. No confirmation whether he wrote it or not. In short, approx 200 works, then hundreds of points, facts related to Shakespeare. Who called him Johannes Factotum? Who said you are an upstart crow? Who criticized him? Who copied him? Who published his sonnets? Who published his first folio? So, in short, you have to read approx 200 or 300 points related to Shakespeare. Do we have a confirmation that there will be a question from Shakespeare? No, because there is a unit called drama. So drama means every dramatist, starting from the religious drama, morality play, interludes, pre-Shakespearean dramatists, the university wits, post-Shakespearean dramatists, the comedy of manners dramatists, the sentimental comedy dramatists, the drama writers who tried their hands in romantic age but failed, and the drama writers of modern age. T.S. Eliot himself was a dramatist. Murder in Cathedral. W.B. Yeats wrote Countess Catherine. In short, my friends, if the 10 questions are supposed to be asked from drama only, there is no guarantee that one question will be from Shakespeare. And let's assume that if one question is from Shakespeare, for that one question, how many topics you're going to read? 250, 300 topics? Don't you think that if you use the same time, same energy, same efforts and read 250 topics of literary theory, that will be more effective? So I am sure all the smart students will understand my point that this is called smart method of preparation. The big writers which will take a lot of time to be covered but have one question chance or maybe the not, then avoid these writers, especially in the last moment. I'm not saying don't read Shakespeare. Read Shakespeare. I myself teach Shakespeare completely. But when we have 5 months, 6 months classes, I am teaching Shakespeare. But when you have 15 days left, don't read Shakespeare at all. Same thing what you have to do. So should you leave it completely? No. Whatever you have read till now, whatever the notes you have made till now, just rely upon those things, just revise it and move to the new topic. Going to Paradise Lost, John Milton. Sometimes the student make mistake by reading all the different books of Paradise Lost. No, you're just supposed to read book 1, book 4, book 9. Some of you can also go for book 2. So whatever you have read till now, go for it. Second point, most of the students during the last days, they start focusing on British history. British history is really big, vast, and has a lot of minute details. Every writer has a lot of questions related to it. So technically, British history is heavy. It is like 50-60% time taking thing. But the questions are not like that. They will ask only 20% questions directly from British history. The other questions will be related to British history but not directly. They will be the part of criticism, they will be the part of theories, they will be the part of the books based on certain books. They can ask you, Gertrude Talks Back is written by. They can ask you the Dickensian books which inspired the Nobel laureates to write the famous works. So technically, focus on other literatures also. Now, go for a check. This is not the time to go in the depth of literary theory. Last 15 days, if you already have worked on literary theory, you have your notes, you have some printouts, then I strongly recommend you to focus on those printouts. Primarily the students who are in my online classes or those who have taken notes. Whatever we have provided you, stick to that. No need to go for anything else because the time is less. Just make sure that you are mugged up. If you are not able to understand a particular theory, all you have to do is just find out the thinkers related to the theory. Thinkers have their books, check their publications or the terms coined by them. So this will be a defense for you. Don't go in the depth of criticism now. In fact, I think last 15 days my strategy was to see the bullet points of criticism. The way I have, studied for my JRF, I have got double JRF. So, and my strategy has always worked for me. I had to study very hard for my first net, my first JRF. After that, I just kept on revising my notes, updating myself. I made sure that whenever I go to the exam, I am completely prepared with my notes. In short, bullet points, focus, read, revise. There is a famous line in Hindi, Karat Karat Abhyas, Jadmati Hot Suzan, Rasri Avajat, Pathar Padat Nishan. So you don't have to become the scholar of Plato. You don't have to actually understand whether Matthew Arnold was the real classicist or John Dryden. In the last 15 days, these are not for explorations. So just read. John Dryden is your dramatic poesy written in 1668. The opening scene is like that. 3 characters are there. 4 characters are there. Then 4 characters can be the real life person. Then 4 characters have different narrations. Who is Neander? Who is Lycidius? What is the result? What are the debates? Basic ones. No need to go in the depth of it, right? Now, the literary terms. Most of the students, primarily if you are not taking proper guidance, or maybe the teachers also make a mistake. They teach you literary terms. They make you mug up literary terms. My dear friends, this was VINEET Pandey using his all experience. I don't teach literary terms in the classes. Now you'll be wondering, why doesn't it teach? It doesn't cost me anything. I can teach. But why to overburden the students when you know the pattern? For me, I'm an expert of NET JRF exam. Literary terms, there are only 15 to 20 literary terms which have been asked on repeated basis. Synecdoche, metonymy, chiasm, zeugma, invective, closed couplet, closed drama. These kind of questions have been asked. But otherwise, every time they come with a new literary device. Sometimes they ask what is palinode, that I already have taught in the classes. Sometimes they'll simply come and say what is prolepsis. But every day you will find out that whatever you have read is pressurizing you, is putting a lot of pressure. You must be reading Amach Abrahams. I read Amach Abrahams. I have Chris Baldick. My first preference is for Chris Baldick. Around 1200 literary terms were there. For my exams, I prepared 1200 literary terms. But then I realized that I made a lot of big mistake. I went for 3 different revisions of Chris Baldick. I used to recognize, I used to feel that yes, I know it. Don't do that. Don't overburden yourself with literary terms. Literary terms, I have already taken the names. You can WhatsApp me to get the exact name. 25 to 30 literary terms I will provide you free of cost. I won't mind whether you are my student or not. We all are together. We all are from literary background. I will help you. I will provide you a list of literary terms. Don't worry. But do not go for unnecessary literary terms because they will surprise you with something very new. My friends, they have asked haiku, they have asked kabuki, they have asked no drama. In short, they have asked Japanese literary devices, they have asked Russian literary devices, Pushkin Stenja. I definitely teach these things in online and offline, but I'm telling you, no need to do these things. Why I teach these things? Because they have been asked. As a teacher, my responsibility is to teach my students everything which has been already asked in exam. But solving those things is my duty. Understanding whether they will be fruitful in the next time or not, it's just that we have taught, read it. But don't search, don't think I will mug up MH Abrahams and I'll go. And let's assume even if you mug up 200, 300 literary terms, it will take a lot of time and you will mess up the most important things. How many of you must be taking classes from other sources, right? How many of you have been taught southern post-colonial writers? Mohsin Hamid, Hanif Qureshi, Akhil Sharma, Sanjeev Sahata, Nadifa Muhammad. See the names I remember like that. You have to be prepared with these things. You have to go for Bapsi Sidhwa. That's very, very important. Kamila Shamshi. So make sure you read that. Plus, the students who again make mistake and do not go for the topics which are recent and canonical. For example, eco-criticism. 90% students have no idea about eco-criticism. The last 15 days, focus on this thing. If you cannot read everyone, just go for Sujata Bhatt, Vandana Shiva. Read two writers. They are not available in guidebooks. They are not available in normal coaching classes. But make sure you read these writers because you'll find them in exam. Go for Greek writers. If you have not prepared separate note for Greek writers and Roman writers, then I suggest that instead of making notes, spend 5 minutes on every writer. Go for Pindar. How many of you know about Pindar, Pindaric Odes, Pindaric Odes reference in English, Abraham Cowley, then Thomas Gray? What if they ask you a question that the spelling of Pindaric Ode used by Pindar, that's Pindaric, and the spelling used by Abraham Cowley, Pindaric, K, C and K, the difference. So you must prepare these things. How many of you know about the famous classical comedy writer, plotters, Terence, Aeschylus, the tragedy writer, Euripides, Sophocles, Aristophanes? In short, my friends, while other students are making mistake because their teachers didn't teach them these things, you don't have to make mistake. You have to read Aristophanes' famous works, Frogs, Wasp, Clouds, Euripides' famous work, Medea, one of the greatest tragedy ever, Sophocles for Oedipus the Rex. These kind of works are very, very important. Go for it. Along with this thing, when you read Aristophanes' Lysistrata, read it from the feminist perspective because this is the first book that deals with sex war. So technically, 15 days should be used to revise the main crux syllabus and read the advanced details. Focus on all the Nobel awardees. Do you know there are writers who have won Booker Awards and Nobel Awards? Be honest, you're watching my video. How many of you can take 10 seconds and actually answer the writers who have won Booker Award and the writers who have won Nobel Awards? It takes time. Like I give you one answer, William Golding. You can give me more answers. So prepare these awardee writers. And do you know that Sahitya Academy Award winners? This time Gitanjali Shri has won the award, the Sand Tomb, the Tomb of Sen. But do you know the story? Do you know the situations related to it? Do you know the first Sahitya Academy Award winner? Along with these things, go for Grinta Magazine Award winners. The Grinta Magazine Awards are actually given to South Asian writers. How many of you have read Ajhar Nafisi, Reading Lolita in Tehran? This is very, very important. How many of you have read Nihal de Silva, The Road from the Elephant Pass? Questions are asked in exam. How many of you have been taught O.P. Vijayan, one of the famous Malayali writer? My friends, This is the time to read C.S. Lakshmi, Ambai. Go for Indian translation writers. Read writers in translation. Beena Agrawal is one of famous writer in translation. Shweta Taneja for the Indian cult fiction. This is also known as graphic novel. Do you know that the Indian modern theaters are the people who are being asked in exams primarily Vijay Tendulkar, Mahesh Dattani, Deen Bandhu Mitra, Prakash Sharma. Make sure you read these things. Those who already are taking my classes, we have taught you these things. So all you have to do is revise, revise, revise. Early morning, get up, go for blind revision. Then add on some points if you have. Then again take your breakfast, get for blind revision. Take your lunch, sleep for 1 hour, get back for your blind revision. All I want you to do is when you go to the exam, carry everything here and the spirit here. दिल में लेके जाना कॉन्फिडेंस, दिमाग में लेके जाना नॉलेज. क्योंकि दोस्तों whatever you have studied till now, they are going to judge it in 3 hours. 3 घंटे में सब जज होगा. They will judge you, observe you and qualify you in 3 hours. And one mistake, they will fail you. Your hard work of months and months, 8 months you have been studying, thinking about exam, cancellation of exam, seeing. Nobody will care about your pressure. Nobody will care about your situation. If you failed in 3 hours, 3 घंटे में fail हो गए, they will just write FAIL for you. तो मेरे दोस्तों, अपनी जिंदगी की सबसे बेस्ट पढ़ाई करो. The message to you all is that these 15 days, give 200% of yours. Snatch your victory. Snatch the trophy. Snatch that JRF. Today I want to give you a dream. Close your eyes. Think about the most suitable wall in your house. Maybe the wall in your bedroom. Maybe the wall in your drawing room. Where exactly do you want to see your JRF certificate hanging? अपने घर की उस दीवार को याद करो जहां तुम्हारा JRF सर्टिफिकेट लगा होगा. उस सपने को आज अपनी आंख में बसा लो और लग जाओ. थैंक यू सो मच.